Hello, everybody. Here it is. Here I am, Mikey, checking in again, OCD Mikey Boy. And I am getting ready to post a video that I made a couple days ago. I've been editing it because it's so long. I wanted to talk to you guys about the fact that I am using a piece that is a popular piece, that is a inexpensive piece, and it's many people like it. In fact, part of the reason why I used it to as a starting point for this vid was because the reviews that I see on it are calling it like the end-all be-all, best I've ever heard in my life, and all this kind of stuff. And so what I wanted to do is just take a second to put things into perspective and do a couple things. A, to show you how what one person or several people may say is the best they've ever heard doesn't mean it even sounds good, as a matter of fact. In this case, it does sound good, but I'm trying to have you all be critical thinkers when it comes to reviews, because not in this case, but in other cases, they're paid for a lot of times, meaning the magazine gives you good reviews if you advertise with them a lot. In this case, it's just what I see it as is the people that are reviewing it, that are doing these reviews, may not have a lot of experience with higher level line stages. So to them, this is the best they've ever heard. And what I would like to do is play this piece and then play things that I have on hand. Not anything that I went to go get specially, just things I have laying around here, line stages, like 4 of them or 5 of them. And we'll put them and we'll stack them against this thing that is the end-all be-all, and just take a look at how it sounds compared to these other things. Some of them 30 years. I got one in there that's 30 years old, and one of them that's not even a preamp. It's just a volume control. So let's take a look at all that and see if there's anything to the other thing that I want to have this be as a learning experience. Is there anything to the expensive preamps? Okay. Or are they just a ripoff, if they're 20 grand? Okay, well, my feeling is, I know from experience, is that there is a certain level of line stage that when you attain that level, I call it world-class level. When you get to the world-class level of line stages, we could probably count them on one hand, the actual models and makes that are at that level. It's a whole nother ball game. They do something to the rig that is like fairy dust. Whatever it is, you can't listen to a bad recording. There is no bad recordings anymore, because you're so connected to the music that no matter how crappily it was recorded, it doesn't matter. You're still getting all the emotion and all the message of this music 100%. You're connecting to it. So you don't even recognize bad recordings. They don't show up. I think I did one video on that, like I think I titled it something that was, clickbaitish, like, audio rig that never sounds bad, or attain the level of never sounding bad. People like to say, oh, the rig's so good that now I hear every bad recording. Well, you can actually bypass that and go past that level to the point where everything sounds phenomenal. And I happen to have one of those world-class preamps here. It's here from a client. He purchased it from me. It's back here because I'm doing some modification to it, or doing something with the transformers, and it's an upgrade, and hopefully I'll have the thing ready, and I can't tack it onto the end of this thing. When I have it done, I'll compare it with the top of the line that I have on this vid. Okay, and we'll put them side by side, and you kind of hear successfully as you go up. But the top one in this what I'll show you is $10,000. Okay, so that's the top one. It's not that. The one that I'm talking about is 22 grand, and it smokes the living daylights out of the one that's 10 grand. And you'll see the 10,000 one, and tell me if I'm not right. Well, you guys just tell me what you think after you watch the vid. Very comprehensive. Okay, I did each preamp, and I did 5 or 6 songs on each preamp for 1 minute or 45 seconds. And then I'll put all the time code up in a chart in the description, and you can click right on those numbers, the time code, and you can go straight to that song, to that DAC, so you can A/B back and forth and compare and do it in real time and compare it back and forth. makes it easier for you to hear the differences. Wear headphones when you're listening. If you try and listen to it on your computer speakers or on something else, it usually doesn't work. The best way I've found is to use headphones, even if they're little earbuds in your cell phone. Use that because you'll hear more of the music that way. So without further ado, I will go on to the video that I recorded, but I just wanted to preface the video with this little talk because I think it's easy for people to mistake my intent. My intent isn't to bash the DAC the line stage that is the inexpensive one. I think it's a great piece, and it's definitely worth the money that they're charging. It's not overpriced. It's a great piece for a lot of people. That's in their wheelhouse, and trust me, when I started out, it was in mine. I wasn't buying any expensive stuff. I was buying things under $1,000 every component. Okay, so I've been there. All right, I just want to show you the difference so you can hear the difference and you know the nuance, because you might not know what to listen for between these different levels of preamp, and you might just go. So you might have a hard time deciding which is one that's a step up. I can't tell, is it a step up or not or whatever. So I will do these things from time to time where I will set them out for you, and I'll graduate. I'll go from one to the next to the next to the next, graduate in quality and sound quality, and I'm not going to put one up that's just some faked out, overpriced thing that doesn't have the quality. Everything that I'm going to play for you are things that I've acquired for myself because I think they're excellent in one way or another. So it's an education. It could take you forever to learn how to listen and to learn which things are good, which things are not. I intend to help speed that up for you and make your process shorter, and in the same time earn your business, because I'm a seller. So you don't have to give me any what do they call it, Patreon or whatever. I don't ask for any money like that. I just ask, hey, give me a shot to earn your business if you're going to buy some HiFi, because I sling HiFi. I'm also a manufacturer, and so I know, and I owned an amplifier company in California. I know a lot about manufacturing, so I have a good eye to know to decipher good products, well-made products, and I think I do a good job at it. So anyways, I'll play the videos. Hey everybody, welcome back. OCD Mikey here. And I've got a piece of Schiit right in front of me here, this Freya. I gotta say, if these guys are watching right now, brilliant high five on, let's make something and call it Schiit, and I'll bet you people eat it up. And boy, did they ever. I've always wanted to do something like that. I've not been so bold yet. But so we've got the Freya here, and all the reviews that we've got. I see all the other reviewers love this thing, love it to death. It's getting nothing but just phenomenal reviews. I, however, am going to put it to a little harder test against some real hi-fi stuff. And I'm sure this is real hi-fi. I don't mean to diss on Schiit. I'm calling it Schiit, damn it. I'm not even going to call it shit because I know you want me to call it that. I'm not dissing on it, okay? Got to be real careful there to say that. I'm just a cocky, arrogant bastard that has $20,000 preamps, so I'm loose with my lips. So anyways, but this thing may be better. You never know. I could be the fool in this whole game, couldn't I? And then you all could laugh at me, and I'd laugh along with you, because I don't mind laughing at myself. So, okay, so we've got that thing here. We've got the AGDs back behind, because the AGDs are very resolving. They're going to tell us every little thing, every little nuance and detail that happens. That's for sure. Okay, so what are we up against? We are, and this is what I'm going to compare to, and we'll listen to these things and check them out. I'm going to compare to the Kinki Studio. The Kinki Studio, I don't even remember its numbers, but it's the preamp, the line stage that Kinki Studio has. I think it's $1,800. Right below it, we've got Stello. This is from South Korea. This is a $6,000 piece, if I'm not mistaken. It was never released in the United States. It's called a P700. P as in Paul, P as in preamp. P700. This is a fully differential piece, front to back. This is single-ended. The Kinki is single-ended. And then we're going to come over here, and we will try this one is one that I had built. It's 11 stereophonic. That's a name that I use for products that I put together. And this is made by a company in Poland, and it's essentially a passive volume control. So he does make little preamps and stuff that are cool, but he's got really tricked out rotary potentiometers in there, and but there is no gain on this one whatsoever. Then we've got good old Nelly's stuff, Pass Aleph L. This thing, man, I took it in on trade, and I just went to listen to it for a second, and it was like, instantly, I was like, I'm keeping this one. This thing was just killer, man. I mean, just so clean and nice sounding, man. So it's like maybe 30 years old or something. And this thing is a passive all the way until you get to 3/4 volume, at which point it becomes a gain. It's got gain. So it's active after 3/4. And the first, but otherwise it's not. So it's a preamp because we got the selections. It's single-ended. This one is balanced, but I don't think it's differential. It's just balanced. Okay, and then we've got the single-ended First Sound Paramount Mark III, and this thing's like, nutty. This is the preamp that's dual mono. As you can see, it's got 2 of everything. It's got, 2 power switches, 2 source selectors, 2 volume controls. I could have some fun with this thing, man. What could you do? You could do some funky stuff. You could play 2 different sources, one on the left and one on the right. And yeah, I don't know how that would work, but anyways, you could probably do some crazy stuff. And so this is dual mono, 18 grand. It's got dual mono power supplies. See those 2 black boxes and these big old, whatever cables, the DC cables that go up to it. It's got a vacuum tube in there, like 6922, I believe it is, or what? Well, we'll look when we go back to 6DJ8 perhaps. And 082 voltage reg, which controls the bias. So this thing is supposed to be the cat's meow. Okay. So we've got those, and then there's one more up there. The NAT Audio Magnetic, which is that's the one that I use in my rig normally, and we'll see how it compares to all these because I have not really even put it up to the test against everything, and then I might have one secret stash, one that maybe or may or may not show its head, and if it does, it better absolutely crush everything, or I'll be a dirty bird, I guess. I am in Atlanta, right? So that makes me a dirty bird. Falcons, huh? Dirty? Anyways. So that's it. Okay, so I have to get to this one's plugged in. The Freya's in, ready to go. I don't think I'm going to start it right now because it's a little late in the evening, and this is a good 3 to 4 hours of stuff. So, anyways, this will be continued later, but you're not going to know because you're going to be watching it all at once. So anyways, this is the lineup, and I'll be back soon. See ya. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to OCD Hi-Fi Guy for the big event. We're going to do a shootout here of some line stages. So anyways, again, I've listened to this thing up so far. It sounds good. It does. It sounds great. For $800, I think it's $900. It's very good. The tubes that he has put in here, he has put in some older NOS 6SN7s, and so I'm not sure exactly how good they are, the ones that he put in, but it sounds good. Maybe for shits and giggles later, I can throw in some highfalutin 6SN7s that I have that are like these little they're globes. They're the ones from Piss Vein. I don't know how to say their name. Piss Vein. The Shugong basically factory. Anyway, so without further ado, I'll stop BSing and we'll get on to the listening to the music. We're gonna play a couple songs here. Right off the cuff, that volume control in this thing is kind of a drag. It has like a slight delay in it, and then you hear the resistor. It goes clink clink or something. You hear it like mechanically, which is fine. I don't mind that. But there's a slight delay. So if you want the volume to go up and you press the button, it doesn't go up right away. You have to wait a little bit and then press the button again and wait for it to go up. Otherwise, you're like 1, 2, 3, 4 up, and then all of a sudden the thing blasts in like a second or two later. And so it's kind of a drag because it's not real-time volume control. It's like with a delay. So that part off the cuff, that would bother me. I suppose after a while you'd get used to it, but still, if I want to turn it down really quick, I want it to turn down now, not, or whatever. So, but it is only like a second delay. So, okay, let's start playing some music and see how it sounds. We've got everything set to about 80 dB. I'll be matching the dBs on all of this. It's as we go through, so that nothing has an advantage. I've listened to this thing up so far. It sounds good. It does. It sounds great for $800. I think it's $900. It's very good. The tubes that he has put in here, he has put in some older NOS 6S and 7s, and so I'm not sure exactly how good they are, the ones that he put in, but it sounds good. Maybe for shits and giggles later, I can throw in some highfalutin 6S and 7s that I have that are that are like these little they're globes. They're the ones from Piss Vein. I don't know how to say their name. Piss Vein. The Shugong basically factory. Anyway, so without further ado, I'll stop BSing and we'll get on to the listening to the music. We're gonna play a couple songs here. Right off the cuff, that volume control in this thing is kind of a drag. It has like a slight delay in it, and then you hear the resistor. It goes clink clink or something. You hear it like mechanically, which is fine. I don't mind that. But there's a slight delay. So if you want the volume to go up and you press the button, it doesn't go up right away. You have to wait a little bit and then press the button again and wait for it to go up. Otherwise, you're like 1, 2, 3, 4 up, and then all of a sudden the thing blasts in like a second or two later. And so it's kind of a drag because it's not real-time volume control. It's like with a delay. So that part off the cuff, that would bother me. I suppose after a while you'd get used to it, but still, if I want to turn it down really quick, I want it to turn down now, not, or whatever. So, but it is only like a second delay. So, okay, let's start playing some music and see how it sounds. We've got everything set to about 80 dB. I'll be matching the dBs on all of this. It's as we go through, so that nothing has an advantage. The first thing that we're going to compare after, well, I'll go into that later. Okay, let's listen to some music. Here we go.
Woke up shaking, the full moon breaking through the trees, and in the stillness of the evening I heard a rustling in the leaves, and I saw a panther. takes to fool this town. I'll do it till the sun goes down and all through the night time. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what you wanna hear. Keep my sunglasses on while I shed a tear. It's never the right time. I don't really wanna, so you wanna stay my hand. I don't really wanna, so you I'm unstoppable. I'm a push up in no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid.
Okay, so that concludes our listening for the Shiit Freya. Next in line, I was going to put a passive volume control, which you see down here, although I just don't think that's going to be comparable because a passive line control has no gain. The Freya right now has 12 dB of gain, so it's just not going to have the same. We need to hear the preamp, and if it's just a passive volume control, we're going to be hearing the basically the DAC with its dynamics and gain out of that. So anyway, so what we'll put in next is I'm going to put in a Kinki Studio. And by the way, these other preamps have been warming up. I've been having them sitting here for several hours now, turned on and warming up. That way there's no advantage that the Freya has because it's warm. As far as I know, that's all I need to do. So I'm going to set the volumes and I'll be right back. The next piece we're going to try is the Kinki Studios. And I don't remember offhand what the, I'll tell you later what the model is. Okay, so hang on. Okay, guys, here we are now with the Kinki Studio line stage. They've only got one. And if I'm not mistaken, it is... I'll have to check the cost again. It's under $2,000. I know that much. It's a solid state. It is differential on the output. I know that much. So I don't know much too much else. Solid state. Kinki Studios. Here we go.
Woke up shaking, the full moon breaking through the trees, and in the stillness of the evening I heard a rustling in the leaves, and I saw a panther. I'll smile, I know what it takes to fool this town. I'll do it till the sun goes down and all through the night time. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what you wanna hear. Keep my sunglasses on while I shed a tear. It's never the right time. Yeah. I put my armor on so you understand. I put my armor on, I show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a force of no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play.
maybe all the stars would sing.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Oh, darling, darling, stand by me.
Okay, so that concludes the Kinki Studio line stage. I couldn't remember if we did that choral part in the first blip. I thought we maybe didn't do it because the song, the level of the volume of the recording wasn't that high. Anyways, okay, so that's the Kinki Studio. Next, and then what I realized while I'm doing this is that we can't do the pass. I've got a pass, but what we have to do, that one's a single-ended, so there are no XLR. Right now we're running this XLR, and so I'll have to do a second part where we run the Kinki as single-ended as well. I mean the Schiit as single-ended as well, so we're being fair. Okay, so next will be the Stello P700. And this is fully differential, front to back, and balanced. And you hope you know the difference between differential and balance. But okay, so hang on a second. I'm going to set up volumes and put the Stello in. Hang on.